Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Expedition 33. All right. So, here we go. I'll let you guys know, I did not actually have much time off stream to do much. Big week, big weekend, a lot of stuff going on. I was doing a little bit of off-stream stuff for Kingdom Come, was getting some reading in, yada yada. Anyway, so here we are. We are in the continent proper, with some unfathomably large Nevrons. We've got our the battlefield we just came from, and now let's I guess wander about. What's this? Well, there's a thing on the map. Let's go see what it is, and let's switch to Blue Knight so we can fly. Oh, is that that statue from? It is, isn't it? Well, it's I forget what it's called, but it's the one right near the Arc de Triomphe.
Interesting.
Huh. Okay, first of all, I dig all of the shattered bits of France. Not because France is shattered. That's not something necessarily to be celebrated. But first of all, just the aesthetic of this world is just very cool, haunting a bit. But then also the other cool thing I think is neat about it is that it really it kind of shows off what they're able to do with the technology with a relatively small studio, because most of these, like the buildings and the statue and the Eiffel Tower even, I assume all of these are assets that you can just buy as extremely high resolution 3D models, and probably not for very much.
Noco Station is to the north, not far from here.
Who's it? But then they mess around with them a little bit. They make them, they warp them, they corrode them, that sort of thing. And I think it's a really cool way of doing environmental design. In a relatively easy way. Yes, let's see. A good deal. Plunging Bob or French Bob? Both are for Ciel. They're 2 and 3,000. That's not worth it. I never have CL in my party anyway, and none of that is worth trading out Baguette. Well, hello. Hi, Nevron. I'm assuming this is going to be a step up in difficulty from what we have been experiencing before. Oh, there's one of those dudes. Okay, fascinating. Shoot, I forgot to switch out some of my abilities, didn't I?
My sword is dead.
Okay.
Faster.
Nice.
I'll do it.
Oops, too slow. Ow, too slow again. Alright, that's fine.
On fire.
Let's carve a path.
Ooh, I'm in rank A already? Jeez. That'll do.
Break.
That'll work. Ooh. Upgraded Lighterim. Alright, I do actually want to fiddle around with Mael's skills, however. How do I do that? Oh, they're right there. Got it. Okay, I like Rain of Fire, but it takes so long to set up. I almost want to switch to... Crusade is great. I'm actually just going to jump to offensive switch, so I can defenseless and then breaking rules. And then once they're burning from somebody else, switch. Yeah, that actually seems about right. Yeah, that's fine. That'll hopefully help. Okay, let's see what's this. There's a thing here. Painting workshop again. Danger. No. No. Probably not. But I can have Eskia here, can't I? Ooh. Oh. Is this snow? There's a bunch of, I don't know if I like that all of those dead, Gestrels. Troubling. Okay, so there is Monoko Station. I'm gonna just explore this area a little more first before we get to Monoko. I can probably just avoid a lot of these overworld Nevrons, can't I? I don't know why I'm obsessing over this. Ooh, burning. Perfect. Just what I wanted. You're not burning. You are, though.
From fire.
Oh, that didn't work at all. Okay. Can't perfect break. Can anything... Do I have anything that can break? No. Let's strike.
Let the ink flow.
You're almost broken. Any of my spells break? No, none of my spells can break. Darn it. Okay, that's unfortunate. Alright, wildfire it is, I guess.
On me.
Oop. Ah.
I'm ready.
That's really hard to track, but you did. Yeah, like I said, I probably can just sort of ignore a lot of these overworld Nevrons. And I probably should, practically speaking. But anyway. Because I will say, grinding and just killing the crap out of a bunch of overworld Nevrons is definitely something that I can do off-stream that you guys won't mind missing, I assume. Ooh, a thing.
An advantage.
Lost Gestrel. Sastro,
Sastro,
go back to Sastro. See you back at camp. so. Nope, can't go through there. Wow, there is only one place to go, isn't there? I kind of didn't expect that. I expected this to be more opened up. Aside from these guys. These guys seem like something something that the game wants me to fight. Maybe I will. I'll think about it. Ooh, what's this? Stone quarry. Okay, maybe I'll check that out instead. Colossus? Huh. That looks massively threatening. Perhaps I don't want to tangle with this thing yet. I'm going to try regardless. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's a lot smaller than I thought. Okay, that's good news, I guess. Wildfire takes all 4. I do need to start off with Wildfire. That is a good start. Let's do it. Oh, it's resistant. I didn't know that. Okay. Whoa! Well then. Maybe I was right to hesitate. Whew! Alright then. Yeah, I was right to hesitate. I was definitely right to hesitate there. Okay, anyway. There's that trebuchet. Alright, I'm gonna go check out what's in the water, or what's across the water. Oh.
Time for swim.
There's a guy. Ooh. That looks quite threatening. I'm gonna kind of avoid it. Especially because this... Danger? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that means that the guy standing ominously outside with the face making up most of his body is probably even more dangerous. Look at that thing. Look at that. I will say, I've heard complaints about the creature variety, or the enemy variety in this game, and I can understand that. You will wind up fighting, and I've already wound up fighting the same few enemies over and over and over and over again, quite a bit. But the actual design of them is really quite good. Look at that guy. Boat graveyard, huh? Let's check it out. Why not?
Good stuff.
Alicia's birthday party. Alicia? Interesting. That, I think, is a character I haven't met yet. Hey, Adam. How you doing? I will say, though, by the way, Adam, you missed a good deal of Frenchness last week. It's not that they were speaking a whole lot of French, but
Nice.
there were, French terms and things being thrown around, and a lot of it was a bit mysterious, as well as something that I realized, because I've been listening to the soundtrack a bit off stream, especially when I'm reading. It's so amazing. The soundtrack to this game is phenomenal. A lot of the lyrics are in French, and like I kind of if I weren't, first of all, if I weren't busy doing something else at the time, I would want to look them up. But also,
That's unusual.
yeah.
What happened here?
But also at the same time, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I kind of like that I don't immediately and fully understand. I was gonna upgrade. I was gonna do this, wasn't I? Which needs agility and defense. There. Oh. I know that much. Verso. Wait, I think he needs. Should do. That'll do. Okay, I hope that's good. Anyway, I do generally really appreciate listening to music without lyrics I can understand while I'm reading.
Vanson, 48th. He wouldn't listen.
Otherwise, I can
Just
get
kept
distracted.
running everyone into the ground. He acted as if he was the only true believer. That we had to trust him. 5 dead, and he wanted to double down. Thomas not so subtly insinuated that Jean should be relieved of duty. Mutiny. Something I'd never have countenanced. Yet I have a duty to them too. It's a gutting realization. What has to be done? The mission is too important. The team is too important. We can't just throw our lives away for nothing. I hate that it came to this. But he broke our trust. Under Expedition Code 23, Jean Fournier is hereby relieved of duty. I, Vincent Constantine, have assumed command and have designated Thomas Flegov as lieutenant.
I have to assume that lieutenant is not exactly a French pronunciation. That's an absurdly English pronunciation. Speaking of going back and rewatching, you also missed a bunch of. We talked a bit about the philosophy of education, especially sort of the context of what higher education is about and what it's for, that sort of thing. So that'll be worth going back to see. I didn't want to kill my friends. Wait. This disturbingly matches with the log we just read. About mutiny, about the leader seeming to become overly prideful. This gives rise to other questions like, what the hell are Nevrons? I just wanted to play with them. And when I managed to play a note right, I messed up right after. Can you believe it? I expected to use my instrument to kill, and I'm angry. I cannot play. I'll never play again. I beg you, please, mistress. I seek your help. And everyone who does not wish to kill, teach me how not to kill. Teach me how to play. I'm afraid none of us are familiar with your instruments. Really? It's literally just a horn. It's basically a vuvuzela. It's not actually difficult. Mistress, this cannot continue. Perhaps we can help you practice? Truly? Yes, help me learn not to kill. Don't get hit when I play some wrong notes, but please do get hit when I play the right notes. Surely that should be easy for you. How do I tell? Okay, whatever. Let's give it a shot.
I'll do it. I'm ready.
Failure. Restart. Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Ready to evade.
Yay! She's got a wide stance.
I'm
What
ready.
is this? Oops.
I'm ready.
Oops. I dodged a couple of good notes. Darn it. Okay.
I'm ready.
I will read that in a moment, Adam.
Ready to evade. I'll do it. I'm ready. I'll do it. I'll do it.
What? I was dodging.
I'll do it. Ready to evade.
Oh, darn it.
I'll do it.
Okay, let's try this again.
I'll do it. I'm ready. I'll do it.
Okay. Second trial complete.
I'm ready.
One more trial.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll do it. I'm ready.
Okay. Woo! We did it! Neat. That was kind of cool. Alright, Adam says, so St. Paul has this line in one of his letters. In him we live, move, and have our being. Quote seems Aristotelian. Live is the vegetative, move is animal, and being is human. If that makes sense. Everything comes in threes. It's Platonist too. Okay, so I think of this in the morning prayer, which I haven't actually prayed in a good long time. What is it? I forget how it starts, but it is praying for God to guide us, or to Christ specifically, to guide us to be more like Him in everything we think, say, and do. And I that always echoed back to me when I started reading Plato and his tripartite soul, right? That when I think is the mind, I say is the will, and or is what is it? Think is mind, say is the will or the spirit, and do is the heart or desire. For Aristotle, again, it tracks three parts to the animal, or the rational animal, vegetative. It tracks with the you can argue it tracks with the theological virtues. You have faith. Faith tracks with the rational part. Hope tracks with the animal part, the animate part, and love tracks with the vegetative part, with life. Life itself is most fundamental. All of these things come in threes, and they sort of they echo. Right? But yeah, live, move, and have our being is even, I think, even more clear. But yeah, no, I think you're probably about right there. I don't know if it's referring referring specifically to the sort of Aristotelian threefold divide, but it perfectly well. First of all, I will say it doesn't need to be for it to echo that same idea, because those ideas are true. And so, given that those ideas are true, that those divisions are legitimate, that for St. Paul to be talking about them in his letters, it does actually make sense, because of course he can think this through. Paul's a smart guy. And also, we know that St. Paul was at least somewhat familiar, if distantly, was certainly familiar with Greek philosophy. And so these ideas kind of percolating through into the first century, I think you can. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can say that there could perfectly well be some, get some influence there. It worked. Troubadour. Oh. Beautiful. Wait, have this to prove my gratitude. Healing parry, leveled up. Nice. That was cool. Alright, that was a neat little combat minigame. Yeah, when it comes to things like that, I have no problem attributing things like that to convergent thought, to sort of the philosophical equivalent of convergent evolution, if you will. I have no problem with that at all. I think it's perfectly reasonable to think that it's going to be fun. I think it's perfectly reasonable to think that that different people, even in wildly different places around the world, can have wildly different ideas, but those ideas can sort of, or wildly different origins of ideas, but those ideas can converge into the same thought patterns, especially if, those thought patterns are true, are correct, they make sense. You are fast. So let's see if I can beat you down first. And then let's just light everyone on fire. Oh. Oh. Oh, that wasn't good.
Not impressed.
Okay. Woo! Weakness.
Take down that shield.
Stanceless, but to virtuose. Let's revive Verso.
Go again.
Back D. That's not great. Can't perfectly break, but I can. Weapon 2.
Please survive.
Oh!
That spills
I did it too slow, I guess.
Finesse and precision.
I don't have enough action points for mayhem. Like to find. There we go. Cruileron. Okay. That wasn't so bad. But yeah, I'm kind of all about that that idea of intellectual convergent evolution, if you want to think of it that way. I think that's largely a correct way of looking at the world. Oh, that's not the way. Maybe I can go this way, though. No, trees blocking me. I get through on foot? No. Guess not. Anyway. I mean, for example, a paper that I've written that I've got online somewhere, I basically wind up arguing that this was contrary to. Oh, no. This paper is not actually online. I'm sorry.
It'll lead us to Monaco.
Cool.
A train. Gustav would have liked to see that.
Is it true before the fracture, Lumiere had trains running throughout the continent?
Always running late, but running. Yes.
Very cool. Anyway, yeah. So I wrote this paper
Here we
that was.
are. Minoko Station.
Oh, here already.
Is that
Wow.
a Grundis? I knew it. They're real too.
Grandis? You mean the station? Or this thing? Gosh. Anyway, I wrote this paper that was contrary. It was against a book called Heidegger's Hidden Sources. Now, the thesis for that book was that Heidegger had read a great deal of Eastern philosophy, especially, I believe it focused on Taoism, and the only evidence of this that the book presented was a bunch of significant metaphysical and thematic similarities between Taoist literature that was contemporary to the early 20th century, written around when Heidegger could have reasonably read it. Basically, he did a sort of concordance. He showed that, well, there are these similar ideas that arose from the Taoists and from Heidegger, and so he, the author, whose name I forget, but I'll see if I can find it. Link it somewhere. Anyway, so the thesis, of course, was that he basically got a lot of ideas from these Eastern sources. But didn't directly cite them or connect them. It was essentially a very mild accusation of plagiarism against Heidegger, which I think I wound up arguing, no, that's a very serious accusation, and that is not actually the case, right? We have no evidence of that. We have no reason to believe that Heidegger plagiarized these Eastern Taoist thinkers. Rather, he came to the same conclusions. And the reason he came to the same conclusions, the reason he came to the conclusions that they did was that he studied metaphysics in a similar way that they did. Not because he had a connection to them, but because he was writing in a way contrary to a great deal of the Western tradition up until that time, especially embodied in Descartes. And so you're going to wind up with similarities. So I think he just sort of has these similarities because the main point, of course, is that the idea of the way we experience the world, as described by Taoist literature, especially in the late 19th, early 20th century, bears a lot of similarities to what Heidegger describes as readiness to hand, which is experiencing a thing as what it does rather than as a thing, right? Like when I'm using my controller, obviously not his example, but when I'm using my controller, I don't notice the controller. I notice the character moving, right? I don't notice what exactly I'm doing with the various controls, unless something goes wrong. Like I forget where a button is, or what a button does, or which button to press, or my joystick squeaks, which it does sometimes, or hey, it gets unplugged, or whatever. Right? So Heidegger's point is very similar to what we find in a lot of Taoist literature. So the assumption was, but this author, was that, yeah, he probably read some Taoist literature and took some ideas from it and made it his own in a sort of Western way. I disagreed. My thesis was, no, we have no evidence of that. We should not assume that he did that. Instead, we should assume the much more plausible explanation that he came to the same conclusions. And the way he came to the same conclusions was basically what he laid out, how he did it. And that method was similar to an Eastern approach. That's just because they had a similar approach to the world. There's no reason to assume that there was a sourcing there. And if you want to think of it this way, you get the same nonsense from people assuming that there is a Q text. There was a Q gospel that is the sort of source text for the synoptic gospels, which is ridiculous. Like there's no evidence to suggest that there is a common source that was that Matthew, Mark, and Luke drew upon, aside from the oral testimony of the apostles. But because there are textual similarities between the three, they assume that there must be a source that they were drawing upon, rather than they were just drawing on the same events that happened. In thinking in a convergent way, in a an early Christian way. Adam says, I've always been curious about where the philosophy of religion ends and theology begins. Are the separations between the two disciplines blurry, since they're so intertwined? Yeah, so the philosophy of religion, per se, is... yeah, they really are deeply intertwined. Strictly speaking, a lot of what we call philosophy of religion would have classically been called theology. Because it's philosophizing about God, which would have been theology. So yeah, there is a blurry line between the two. Imsimp, what do you mean by the St. Paul effect? You might need to expand upon that for me. Contrary with some believe, guard duty is quite rewarding. Grandi. Is it Grandis, like she said, or is it Grandi? I mean, she pronounces her name Lune, so whatever. Or did meditative and instructional. Meh. There's a bunch of old human stuff here. I assume these boxes are human stuff. This is just fascinating. Very liminal. What? Oh, that's right, I'm not in the overworld, I can jump.
Useful.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, so I thought so. If it were pronounced in French, it would be Grandi. Grandi or Grand? Yeah, Grandi, because I-S, not Grande. The other thing I was thinking would be Grande, but that'd be E, and then E with an accent would be pronounced Grande. I think. Am I right on that? Or am I wacky? I'm just making stuff up. I can kind of pronounce some French. And I can kind of understand bits and pieces of French. Whoa.
If Minoko's not here, that means... slow as ever. Mon vieux.
Mon vieux? What does that mean? Somebody
Your
help me.
reflexes remain sharp as ever. I approve. Obscur, did Verso pull you into another adventure? New friends.
You speak our language.
He had a lot of time to kill, so I taught him.
Ladies, could I interest you in a duel?
Definitely a gestural.
No point trying to talk until we've calmed Minoko down with a relaxing fight. Be careful though. Minoko's fighting style is a bit peculiar.
Oh, oh man, this rocks. Damn! Oh my god, I love this music. This is amazing. Oh, great. There are different accents in French that change pronunciation. Well, stop that. Go away. I hate this. I mean, that's true for English too, I guess. But... we're just jam into this. This is amazing. Mirror B vibes from Pokemon XD. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the game is basically about existentialism. Yes, I will agree with that. I have a fire and a... Let's ice lance him.
Ice shut.
Slow him a little bit. Okay. Let's...
Let's carve a path.
Quick strike.
Fast.
I'm ready. Really better.
Bomb. That was pretty good. I don't have enough action points for Mayhem, really? Consumes fire to generate light. Alright, I'll just electrify him, that's fine.
My turn.
Need to break him. Fine strike. No, it's just assault zero. That's fine.
Here we go. Watch out, my L.
Ready to go.
Ow. Well, at least
You
I...
can turn into a Nevron.
That was cool. Blocked a couple of them, at least. I still don't have enough action points for Mayhem. Broken. I have one action point. Paradigm shifts? Sure.
Let the ink flow.
Jazz. It's so jazzy. I love it. I can't clear it Fury again. That's fine. Break? No, can't. Sure. Got him. Hurt myself, but I got him. Oh, the battle end music is nice. It's It's not even just slowed down. It's completely different instrumentation and everything. Oh man, that's so. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, this is great.
No distraction, son. I'm really busy beating up strangers.
What are you doing here?
Noko, you said Nevron?
Oh. A stalact.
A what? Okay. Okay. Hold on now. First of all, rest. Second of all, he's not in my party yet. Darn it, I can't. Balls. Okay. Adam, I absolutely agree. If they had spoken French, or even like French gibberish, you know? Even just French gibberish would have been really cool. It was 1 to 3 allies by 40 to 60. Consumes 3 fire to also apply regen. Ooh. That's pretty good. Fire Rage. Increasing fire damage to all enemies until D receives damage. Stun self if interrupted. Ew. Don't like that. Hell. Bitchin'. High fire damage that applies 5 burn per hit to all enemies 2 hits. all enemies. That's basically just 9 action points, though. Damn. I never have enough for that. Lightning Dance. Can only be cast with all 4. Ooh. Elemental Genesis. Only 4 action points, too. Damn, that's really good. Thermal Transfer. Single target ice damage, 2 hits. Gains 4 action points if target is burning. That's pretty good. Tsunami? On turn start, deals high ice damage to all enemies and heals allies. What does it mean on turn start? I don't know. I don't know what to do with her. I'm actually kind of content with what I have. That's pretty good. I'll just... it's fine. Oh, wait, I didn't check my L. I need to learn from my L. What's this? Revenge. Each hit received. That requires her to not parry. Guard down. Applies defenseless to all enemies for 3 turns. That is a tempting opener, really. Icky day. Answer's Flurry. Medium damage to all enemies. 1 hit. Applies defenseless. Let's go. Yeah, let's just do that. Alright, that's fine. I'll just do it. I'll try it out. See if it works. Ooh, what are you?
Friends of Verso, as honored guests, the first fight is yours. Defeat the Stalact with your fearsome talents.
Right.
I love this guy.
Oh. You're serious?
Yes, he is.
I love this guy so much.
You little coward.
He moves like an orangutan. And talks like some noble warrior sage. I love him. I love him! Alright, Gradient
Verso,
Attack.
why aren't you using gradient attacks?
I don't need pointers from the one sitting on his lazy ass.
You didn't teach them, did you, you lazy old fart? Very well. I shall generously impart my wisdom.
Okay, Gradient Attacks. Each action point used to cast a skill fills the Gradient gauge. Once the gauge is filled, you gain 1 Gradient charge you can use with any character to use to cast a Gradient attack. Tremor? Why is it Tremor? Sure, I'll do it. Wow.
Let the ink flow.
That was stupid damage. Let's burn it. And that is a weakness. Excellent. Oh. Excuse me? Okay, that was actually relatively easy. Ooh. It's one of them. What will burn? Or what'll break? Do I have anything that'll break for her? Or heal me? She's burning. Oh my god. Let's just switch to virtuous stance. When in doubt, virtuous stance. I can't break, can I?
Let the ink flow.
That's just me. That'll break. Oh, wait. I just... That was awful.
On me.
Okay, that works. That wasn't so bad. I goofed it pretty bad, but it's fine. Okay.
You found worthy friends, Verso.
Jealous?
What are you doing?
I just need the foot. Aha!
Oh. Cool.
He transforms by collecting Neverun feet. Don't ask me how it works. I've never understood.
Feet, huh?
Now that we've had some good battles to warm the spirits, to what do we owe the pleasure of your company?
We're heading for old Lumiere.
Okay, bye.
Hey, come on. Hey. Hey, look. I know we failed before, but look, you doofus. Don't you recognize her?
Of course I do.
Then you know what that means. This is our shot. It might be our only shot.
This is your only shot.
Recognize her, huh?
Out of the question. I will never join you again.
There will be a lot of fighting, though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
There will be a lot of fighting.
Exactly.
Count me in then.
Good.
Good.
That easy? Really?
Good.
Yes, good.
Noko's coming too.
Oh, you are?
Non me mercanto al dormir. C'est mon retour, trésorier. Voici le meilleur mercanteur du monde.
As a responsible parent, this is a superb idea. Let us go to old Lumiere.
Grande sucamene, nella starector godão. Choro parlante de mão, não me lembro do gestrador. Choro do ordo do lar, ora chegito em orso.
Okay, then. Yes, I would like to play Minoko's tutorial. I want to know how the heck he works. Bestial Wheel. Minoko's skills move the Bestial Wheel pointer forward. Each mask on the wheel upgrades specific skills. The Almighty Mask upgrades all skills. Which one's that? Yellow one. Okay. Okay. Upgraded skills are stronger or gain additional effects. Okay. Chalier combo and Stalact punches. It's on the heavy mask. Stalact punches is upgraded, okay. Sure, let's... Oh, I fucked it up. Fucking cool.
Foolish move.
Oops, that was a jump. You're a cool thing. Okay. Harvest Nevron legs if he is in the party when Nevrons are killed. Enemies with lootable legs have this icon, which is their health bar. Okay. Defeating the Pellerin will unlock a caster skill. That didn't actually help me. Heals?
What lovely
This is bullshit.
I'd love a dance.
Neat. Okay, unbalanced. Alright, what's balanced?
That's more like it.
I'll just keep charging it up, huh? Oh, I didn't get to use the thing. Okay, whatever. Minoko's Nevron skills. When you you just beat a Pellerin and looted his leg. So ridiculous. Allows Minoko to learn the skill Pellerin Heal. Okay. Oh, okay, it's already. Applies regen to all allies. Oh, cool. Dude! Okay, I need... Shoot, I need him in the party. Like, that's so cool. Monokaro, he's only one. He has one. I can give him some Pictos. I'm not gonna do it tonight. Dang it. Dang it. I really want to. He's so cool. He's really... I assume, though, he's relatively difficult to actually build properly. Needs that. Adam has been reading about the Dominican spiritual tradition lately. It's just dawning on me now the Dominican thought isn't the exact same as Thomism, even though Aquinas was a Dominican. Yeah, no, I knew that. I mean, I knew that. I mean, obviously, because St. Dominic was a long time before Aquinas. Because, Aquinas was a Dominican. The order existed long before Aquinas did anything. Long before Aquinas, even before he wrote, before he was part of it, right? Fascinating. Fascinating. What's that? Can't equip that? I will say you are right. Thomism absolutely dominates Dominican thought. But because realistically, if you want to go back further than Aquinas and Dominican thought and Dominican philosophy and theology, you're pretty much just going to Albertus Magnus and Was Bonaventure Dominican? No, Bonaventure was Franciscan, wasn't he? There weren't a lot of really big philosophical and theological names in the Dominican tradition before Aquinas. He really apotheosized Dominican thought. Okay, Catherine of Siena. Okay. Yeah, that's a good... That'll work. Which I haven't actually read. I haven't read her dialogue, so... Maybe I should. It is as it ever was. Enemies abound, but we hold firm against those who would wreak havoc upon our home. Soon, I shall soon rekindle the flames of the great forge and cast our defenses anew. Use weapons? Of a sort. Between the wrongs of deception and violence, we have chosen the lesser evil. We are well versed in methods of misdirection through the skillful application of sound. Interesting. As you have surely seen with the bell we gifted our furry gestural friend oh so long ago, perhaps some of our designs might be of use in your journey. Ooh, I need to complete quests. Dad will aid you in battle as well. Require one final ingredient. The eternal ice. That never melts. The depths of the glacial mountains. That's an enticing offer. The path to frozen hearts will not be easy. Many threats await you there. Is this like a boss rush thing? Because I know there is a boss rush level in this game. Hey! Is the Never Ungone? I wish to be alone. Yeah. I'll leave you alone then, I guess. It is true, the fracture brought its share of ills, but there is beauty in its aftermath. Take these stations, scattered across the mountains. Though not their original purpose, they have sheltered us well and become our cherished home. Your ancestors rode iron horses from station to station, and though these marvels breathe fire no more, still they are a lovely reminder of human ingenuity, and they beautify our surroundings. It is astonishing, no? The many wonders your ancestors have wrought. I think you would enjoy a visit to Lumiere. Oh yes. I would very much love to go to Lumiere one day. I hope to take you there someday. Big guy. Beautiful weather today. Albeit a tad warm for my liking. Ah, this guy's me. This guy's 100% me. Literally me. Really? Before the fracture, our ancestral home lay high above the heavens on mountains tipped with crystal clouds. Blossoms of snowflakes graced-starred every breath. The blizzards of yesteryear were a sight to behold, and quite invigorating to experience. Cool. Yeah, so the Cataclysm, or whatever it was called, is basically just a convergence or a crossing of worlds. The sort of thing that it reminds me of Sapkowski of The Witcher, that kind of thing. Oh my god! Sacre bleu. Sorry. We Grundis are impervious to cold, and it is utterly dreadful for one such as me. Can you guess why? You just finished your, Ogden? I'm gonna go with Ogden. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Just finished my playthrough of the game. Truly a masterpiece. Through run. Thank you very much. I'm having a great time so far, but as you can tell, I'm not that far yet. Why? Because there is no need for clothes. We run about naked as the day we were born. As a fashion designer, my talents languish from disuse. My life needs colors and textures. Oh, I have a brilliant idea. Let me dress you and your two marvelous friends. But, before I drape you with elegance, you must first best me in eloquence. Sure. I shall design new attire for the one able to best me in an eloquence of battle. Yes, let us commence. We're dueling! Why does he have facial hair? I don't know, they all do. I shall finish my sentence in a wonderfully poetic way. Oh, it's not a battle. It's literally a battle of eloquence. We're literally having a slam poetry off. Excellent. Life blooms like a rose, with petals soft and frail. Winter winds will whisper the ending of the tale. Impressive. Just continue. Life's a canvas painted with the colors of our strife. Yeah, death, the artist's final stroke, completing every life. Good. I cannot do it in French. If I could, I might. Probably not, but maybe I would. I don't know. I'll just continue. That's actually interesting. Is it, Adam? You can help me out with this. Is it easier or harder to rhyme in French? Because I know that in most Latin languages, rhyming is a lot easier because there are more consistent word endings and more consistent vowel sounds than in English. English has way too many vowel sounds, and the endings of words are wildly inconsistent, so you can't rhyme as well. Spanish rhyming is relatively easy. Latin rhyming is tremendously easy because word order doesn't matter. So you can just put whatever word you want in the sentence at the end of it, and it'll work almost. So that rhyming in Latin is spectacularly simple. I actually don't know how easy it is to rhyme in French, relatively. English is a difficult language to rhyme in. We'll say that. I as I understand it, which is very, very little, German is even harder. Ooh, I overspiced that. Ooh, it's good though, but I overspiced it. About the same as Spanish, you'd say? Pretty easy. Okay. That's what I would guess, I think. Life sings a song of joy and pain. Its notes both sweet and bitter. None of these rhyme. Its echoes fade to stillness, our secrets follow after. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. It's why France has so many love songs, they all rhyme. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. You're good. I should have expected that. Hold on a moment. It's going to take some time to create my piece. There, I'm proud of this one. Ooh. Okay, I gotta see. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. I still kind of like the skirt better. And Baguette is a nice look, but I actually kind of like the skirt better for her. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Let's have not Gustav Verso. You're not a lady. Oh, it's got to be a lady. Okay, I see. All right, let's best him in an eloquence battle, huh? Wait, you don't like the baguette? Why don't you like the baguette? I love the baguette. Okay. Life is but a fleeting dream, a whisper in the night. Yeah, well, shadows fade to silence, gone beyond our sight. Through the veil of shadows, life's mysteries are spun. Death untangles threads, revealing what's begun. Yeah. Life dances on the edge of time, a flicker in the breeze. Eternity cradles us, a promise to appease. Yeah? Yeah, okay. I kind of like the other ones, though. They're just kind of, like, sassy, not eloquent. Okay, I got Pure for her. Let's go with, Gal. Or not my L. CL. So we can get rid of Baguette, since you don't like it. For some reason. Life's a river winding through the valleys of despair. It meets the sea's embrace, where sorrow turns to air. That's good. Life's a story written with the ink of dreams and fears. And death, the final chapter, where we shed our tears. Life's a blazing comet racing through the sky. Its light will softly fade, where weary skies lie. Yeah, that's good. It doesn't have the right, that didn't have the right cadence, though. I mean, it's close enough, I guess, but... Alright. I am gonna switch her to Pure. Yes. You three have incredible repartee. You each deserved your win. Thank you. It's nice to learn about your culture. I'm happy you enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed creating those outfits, so I hope you wear them all the time. You've rekindled my passion for design. I shall become a full-fledged fashion designer. You can count on it. Alright, let's see. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Yeah, alright. I dig it. Yeah, no, it is basically just a white version. Vintage? Ponytail work. Let's keep the skirt for her. That's good. And then, yeah, that's fine. Interesting, but no. Pure. Obscure. Let's go with obscure. Let's stick with rebellious. Short. Yeah, rebellious is good. Alright. Baguette's too over the top. You find it ironically insulting. Well, I find it funny. That's why I'm happy. Alright, let's see. I should fiddle around with Pictos too. That's fine. We'll stick with what we got for right now. The Grandes lived peaceful lives long before the painters emerged. The three great Grandes tribes were renowned for the artistry of their discourse. We too once had grand arenas like the Gestrels, but within our arenas eloquence ended the killing blows. And we still remember the excitement of the oratory games. Every 4 years, the greatest minds came together to demonstrate their mastery over the spoken word. The debates were fierce and lengthy. I recall one bout that lasted 96 hours. Do you still hold these games? Not as they once were, for the three great Grandes tribes no longer exist. We are all that remain. But the games were not simply a competition between us. They were a celebration, a chance to come together. And that spirit we continue to honor. In these days, our debates are more humble in nature, but that allows for a more intimate competitive environment. We've faced many challenges since the fracture, but our traditions live on, in one form or another. Why are you punching? That doesn't seem very cultural. Is this the way I need to go, or is this the other way?
What have we here?
Lumina points in. Do kindly descend from there. No. Okay. That's it? That's simple as that? Okay, fine. What if I shoot you? No? Okay. A crane, huh? I should build a proper bridge one of these days. Okay. Some think to fight back, to strike directly against the Nevrons in open battle. But we are strangers to the mindset of war and outmatched in strength and numbers. We have the will, but have we the way? Anything's possible if you have the will to see it through. A lovely sentiment, but of little comfort to the many who've perished. I dare say their will was as strong as yours. Hello. Goodbye. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? I will agree, Baguette is a little over the top. I enjoy it, though. I think it's kind of hilarious. Oh, is this an expedition log? An expedition got here. Many challenges lie ahead for both your kind and ours. Please take this. Rico. Okay.
Expedition 65, Aurelian. The Grandes have embraced us with such warmth and hope. What a balm for the soul to know that other beings survived. That we in Lumiere are not alone. It truly is a miracle. The Grandes retreated to higher ground after Nevrons overran their lands. It is bittersweet, but at least the most important parts of their civilization will survive. Their children. Fortunately for them, they do not appear affected by the Gommage the way we are. It is painful knowing our expedition has failed. But at least we can enjoy our final days among friends.
Hey guys. I can't remember a time we weren't hiding from the Nevrons. Feels like only yesterday to me. Age is a thing, guys. You know that, right? This pathway leads to the treacherous region of the mountains. If your destination is Old Lumiere, you should leave via the other exit. I think I will leave via the other exit. I believe that exit is the one for the where I would get the item for the what's it called over there. Not yet. Once again, that might be something I do off stream. We'll see. I still can't get enough of the sort of hover flying. Lune remains my favorite character to move around with because of that, like entirely because of that. I remember sculpting this statue. I must say, looking back now, why did we all sculpt the same thing? Do you not remember? It was a time when the tribes sought to compete in a different manner than through eloquence battles. So we did this. Or it could be because you have one really nice 3D asset that you want to plop in a bunch of different places and different sizes. Adam has a question. The Benedictine motto, Ora et Labora. Does the Labora have to be manual labor? Can it be something intellectual like teaching? I think it has to be manual labor in addition to any kind of intellectual pursuit. At least I think. I can't think of any Benedictine monasteries that don't in some way work with their hands. As some of us forget the history of our people, I thought it prudent to begin recording what I can. It's great to hear. Do you write them? No. I record everything in my mind. If someone forgets our history, I will simply tell them. But what if you forget? Let me think on that. Or what if you, like, die? That's a thing, too. That does happen. I can clear the snow. I can clear the rubble, but this is too much. Must we truly dispose of this thing? It does not obstruct the way. It is simply there. It is. Also got a dead friend of yours on it. That's actually there's something interesting about that, right? The apparent uncare about the emotional and psychological impact of there being a dead Nevron here somehow. Wait, what? Dead Nevron? How? They disappear, don't they? I thought. Or is that only if you have the Lumina converter? Regardless, whatever. The point I was getting at, having it there, even impaling a friend of theirs, basically a member of their tribe, that is there's something striking, I guess, about the serenity, if you want to call it that, of being okay with that, not taking into account the appropriateness of the item there, and only thinking of the practicality of the matter, which is, in a sense, kind of, it's almost uncivilized. I don't mean that in really an insulting way. It's just not considering the symbolic and emotional significance of something in the environment is like I said, is very it's contrary to civilization. And part of what civilization means is a sort of ordering of things in the right way. Right? Like, for example, suppose I were to be wearing a shirt backwards, right? Practically speaking, that actually might be beneficial for me because I have a sunburn on my back, pretty bad still, and most shirts have tags right here, right on the neck, right where it's rubbing my sunburn. And that's, a slight inconvenience. Maybe it would be better for me to wear a shirt backwards. Maybe not this because this is buttons, but like a t-shirt or something. Wear it backwards. It's inappropriate because it's a juxtapositional wrongness with what one ought to expect. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with it, but what's wrong with it is the way that we will all necessarily perceive it, and I know how we will all necessarily perceive it, that there's something odd, something wrong, something off, something probably mistaken going on, right? So if I know that, and if I do it anyway, that is me disrespecting or disregarding those set expectations. So again, I think it is somewhat uncivilized in a sense. It's anti-civilizational in a way. Not necessarily to condemn them. Maybe it is a cultural thing. Maybe it's an impact of an ultimately nearly destroyed society like this. But no. Imsip asked, would I describe Catholicism as a cult of Christ? Should it be this? What does it mean to follow Christ fanatically? It could. I mean, cult just means a organized collection of worship, of people worshiping in the same way of the same thing. So yeah, I think it would be perfectly appropriate. Now, with the modern connotations of cult, maybe don't. This cult carries with it the connotation of incorrectness and perhaps even danger. It's just like conspiracy theory. Yeah, there are plenty of theories about conspiracies that are perfectly true, but to call something a conspiracy theory carries with it the connotation of it being false and zany. This is of course a psyop, but I think the same thing goes for cult. Like throughout the 20th century, a lot of these terms that were formerly descriptive and value neutral got a negative connotation so that we could not use them as a way of dismissing things that they're associated with. Cult is one of them. Conspiracy theory is another one. Those two are, especially conspiracy theory, was very explicitly a psyop. Another big one is indoctrination, right? Indoctrination, 100, 200 years ago, certainly more than that, in early modern English at least, was a completely neutral term. It just meant teaching. It meant teaching doctrine, teaching to the initiate what is true. Right? But that got a negative connotation with two factors. One, the Protestant Revolution. Two, the Enlightenment. Both of these sort of put forward the idea that we decide what we ought to think. We ought to decide what we think rather than that coming from teachers, coming from authority. And it's also where we get this idea that teachers should teach how to think, not what to think, which is kind of true, but it's half true, right? We should teach how to think. We also kind of should teach what to think. Because if we know how to think, then we know what conclusions that our students ought to come to. So we should help them come to those conclusions and not to the opposite conclusions. Maybe this is controversial in a modern academic setting, but I don't know if it should be. It's certainly in a secular setting it's controversial, but a secular setting is heretical, so. Would I describe Catholicism as a mystery religion? Is it the true mystery religion? No, absolutely not. That carries with it the idea of Gnosticism, right? That a mystery religion necessarily has esoteric knowledge, and that the esoteric knowledge is key to salvation within the cultic tradition, whatever it might be. And Catholicism is absolutely not that. It is not a mystery religion. It is often mistaken for a mystery religion because early Christians were secretive throughout the Roman Empire, but that was just because they were persecuted. They were secretive not with what they believed. They were secretive about whether they were Christian, because if it became too public, they would be tortured to death. So no, I would absolutely not describe Catholicism as a mystery religion, or even as the true mystery religion, like we would call it the true myth. No, absolutely not. Now there are some who would, and there are some who would hold a looser description of what a mystery religion is, but I would absolutely say no. Absolutely not. It was pleasant meeting the merchant, but things could have become perilous. We did well to return. There's too much we do not know about the crater. The Neverons there are fierce. Crater, huh? Alright, let's check this out. Bunch of big honkin' swords. That is something I'm probably going to have to do off stream is training up Makoko. Or Minoko. But I think it was Minoko. Our new guy.
Useful.
Our new gestural buddy. MSim says, so Mormonism is a modern day mystery religion, since it has secret rituals of initiation and hidden knowledge. Maybe. The question really becomes, is it that knowledge specifically which marks it off as what it is, and that knowledge as such that, say, offers the path to salvation? What the fuck is that thing? Okay, we'll come back to this. This is where we're supposed to be going, so let's not go there yet. I may have to yap at Adam about how to build Minoko.
Time for swim.
No, actually. No, it's one of the swallowy bastards over there. I didn't go over there, did I? Skirt for CL? Sure. I'll buy that. Why would I go this way? My guess is that there's something important behind here. There's a, this looks difficult. gonna hold off on this. Maybe I'll do this off stream. Oh, here's a little record.
Thomas of the 47th Drunken Brigade. Benjamin's been calling us the Drunken Brigade. Ha! I love it. Yeah, we do our best work after a few. The trick is finding that perfect point where your nerves have calmed enough that your mind and body are one, but not so calm that your reactions are dulled. Some of the lads haven't quite managed riding that edge. But I remain in full control of my body and thoughts. Oh, sounds like someone spotted another Nevron. Better fuel up for our next dance. For Lumiere!
See, I think that actually is plausible. I mean, it's not likely. It's very difficult to strike that balance. But it is plausible. Imsip says the hidden knowledge is required. Okay. The hidden knowledge is required for salvation in their view. The ceremonies teach secret handshakes that you will need to give to angels that guard heaven in order to enter the highest kingdom of heaven. Yes, then. Honestly, yeah, I think that qualifies it as a mystery religion. Yeah, I think so. What's that? Gestural beach right there, but what's this? Bun for Verso. Ponytail for Lune. Sure. I don't think I actually want a bun for Verso. That probably is worse than I have. But whatever, I'll check it out. There's a thing there. Those are rather threatening looking Nevrons that I kind of want to avoid for the moment. Again, not stuff I want to do on stream. Oh, hello. Yay! I unlocked a way back. Sweet. Now, I'm curious, how far back does this go? Okay, just to here, though. Okay, just to there. Not all the way back down here, though. That's interesting. Curious as to whether there is a way to get back there. But yeah, I would say that if the secret knowledge is in fact the knowledge as such is what is required for salvation in some significant way, then yeah, I would call that a mystery religion. Another Gestural Beach. Let's check this out. Fascinating. What's going on here? Most fiendish challenge of all. Gestural Ascension. This is getting over it. The rituals also had Masonic curses that had been removed, basically swearing if you divulge the secrets, your tongue will be torn out, may your bowels be cast open, etc., etc. Yeah, that ain't right. Golgra used to suck at climbing, so she built this to hone her skills. Only a few Gestrals managed to reach the top, but those who did are so proud that they decided to live there and never come back. To reach the top, you will most likely be welcomed as a hero and offer you the ultimate Gestral reward. I am frightened that this means that reaching the top will indicate that I'll use my health for this, I guess. That there's going to be a bunch of dead Gestrals up there. Okay, let's try that again. Is this Emma, what's her name's bed? This looks like that modern art piece of the messy bed. Like, I don't know, it just looks like that is probably what this is an asset of, if I had to guess. Whew, okay, we're making it. Zip says, what do you think about the phrase that is becoming very popular online, Christ is Lord or Christ is King? That's just a very simple stock phrase that goes back to literally the time of the New Testament. But also, I have a relatively recent video on the subject, if you haven't seen it yet. Before I go on too much, have you seen the video that I'm referring to? There we go. Honestly, so far, this is easier than the last platforming. Yeah, no, this really reminds me of Getting Over It, especially the later parts of it. Okay. Okay, we move it that way. Okay. Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay. Imsip says, I think it became popular recently with the release of Shia LaBeouf's Padre Pio, where Padre Pio commands a demon to say Christ is Lord or get out. Yes, absolutely. It has, in fact, been used, basically like that, as a witch test. Maybe not literally a test for witchcraft, but a test for spiritual, literal, very, very literal and spiritual opposition to Christ. Because if you're not willing to say it, it indicates something about you spiritually. Are you kidding me? Woo! That was close. No, thank you. Not like that, please. I can do this. Anyway, so my video basically points out that this is becoming a kind of right-wing calling card, and a lot of times gets called anti-Semitic, blah, 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 which is all very retarded and all that, but I mean, we all know that's very retarded. But beyond it being retarded, there's an interesting element to it, right, that we should kind of recognize that part of the point of saying Christ is King or Christ is Lord or whatever we want to say about it, part of the point of that is to say that, well, if Christ is Lord, no one else is. If Christ is King, that means no king but Christ. Okay. 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 Okay, God, that's close. Woo! We're on a ship. Ooh, there were alternate routes going up here. Oh man, this is cool. It's anti-Semitic to call the literal Jewish God Lord. Yeah, right. Part of why it's called anti-Semitic is because Jews won't say it. And there's a reason Jews won't say it, is because they deny that Christ is Lord. Oh, I need to leap of faith this, don't I? Oh, gee. Okay, this is gonna be rough. Let's try it. Nope. Okay, one more try. Yeah, Christ is Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not just of Gentile Christians. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it gets called anti-Semitic because Jews will not acknowledge Christ as Lord. Like, that's part of what being Jewish means. Is in the modern period is denying Christ. So people see it as a kind of anti-Jewish countersignal, right, or something like that. Which is not the point. The point of using it as a sort of witch test, like the Padre Pio model. The point of that is, and also the point of using it on Twitter and whatever, like demanding people say it, you wouldn't demand a non-Christian say Christ is Lord. Who you would demand say Christ is Lord is someone who is claiming to be a Christian but who is not acting like one, or who claims Christianity but seems to be using Christ's name in vain. And so, to demand that they say Christ is Lord and confess Christ is Lord, what you're doing is you're demanding, you're holding them to the standard of Christ. You're saying, wait, hey, whoa, if you are gonna talk to me about Christianity, then you better be serious about this. You better seriously affirm that Christ is Lord. And if you're not gonna do that, then I don't have to listen to you about what you say about Christianity. Or what Christians ought to do, you know. This comes up a lot when people say, well, Christians should be kind and nice and forgiving and should accept all kinds of various, sinful behaviors and whatnot. Say Christ is Lord. Because if you won't do that, I will not take you seriously about what you say that Christians should or should not do. Zim says, the same Jews who sacrifice their gods to Canaan and Phoenician false gods to make the rain fall. A true Jew is one who is one inwardly, as St. Paul says. A Jew, whether he be a Hebrew or Gentile, is one who acknowledges Christ in the fullness of God. Yeah, absolutely right. Now remember that Jewish tradition of idolatry is, that was very close. That's our tradition too. Like we should not exempt ourselves from that, right? Because we're not Hebrews. Just like we shouldn't exclude the Hebrews from Judaism from Catholicism, let's say, right? New Testament Judaism, say, or from the New Testament, broadly speaking. Just like we shouldn't exclude the Hebrews and say this is only a Gentile religion or whatever. We also shouldn't exclude ourselves from the fact that we are... there's one guy. And he's a statue. That's interesting. There we go. Some of these lines are very ska. They remind me of, shoot. It's something by Catch-22. Can't think of what it is, but anyway. Wow. How much higher do we need to go? Dude! This really is getting over it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, one more try. I'm getting good at this. Only 10:45. Okay, that didn't work. Right, now I know that doesn't work. I was hoping for a little shortcut. Anyway. The other thing is, the thing that I kind of pointed out about this is that a lot of the people who insist on proclaiming Christ as Lord are the same people who insist on proclaiming America first. Now, you'll notice that there is a direct contradiction there. Because if America is first, then Christ is not. And if Christ is Lord, if Christ is King, then Trump is not. Just like in the first century, if Christ is Lord, then Caesar is not. If Christos Kyrios, then Kaiser Kyrios is not. Kaiser is not Kyrios, so to speak. So yeah, there's an interesting tension. Really? Okay, fine. There's an interesting tension there. But it's a really typical tension of which is common to especially American statists, that we fall very, very easily into the Americanist heresy and its various versions. One nation under God. Okay, but talk to an America firster, and you will often not get that rhetoric. And even if you get that rhetoric, you won't get that reality. What you'll get is nation first. But here, let me put it this way: to whom do you have a higher obligation? To the Pope or to the President? And if you say the Pope, then you cannot take, say, an oath of service to the United States, and at least if you mean it. And if you take an oath of service to the United States, if you're in the military or in government or whatever, then you solemnly swear to place the state as your first loyalty, not the church, not God. There really is something to the old anti-Catholic accusation of dual loyalty, which, by the way, that was an anti-Catholic accusation before it was an accusation against Jews and the state of Israel. There's a lot of history behind accusing Catholics of having a dual loyalty, and it goes back to the sort of know-nothing party in the U.S. in the 19th century, which was, I think, I would say, primarily Masonic, and also, therefore, highly anti-Catholic. Like, anti-Catholicism was like the main platform of the know-nothing party, because their slogan was, "We know nothing. We don't know nothing but something nasty about papists." I forget what it was exactly. I forget the phrasing. But yeah, the whole point was that, yeah, Catholics have this dual loyalty, which is a problem, right? We're loyal to Rome when we should be loyal to Washington. And while a lot of people will say, well, no, there's no real concern there. We can really be loyal to our nation. There's no tension there. We can just be loyal to our nation. No big deal. What's this? That's cool. I disagree. I actually do think that there is merit to this old accusation that we do have this dual loyalty problem. It's just that I think that the true loyalty should go the other direction. I think that we should be loyal to the church first. That's interesting. Three centuries later, Caesar himself says that Christ is God and calls the Council of Nicaea. That is true. And so he makes himself subservient to God, but that doesn't mean we ought to therefore be subservient to Caesar. Because, if anything, we should serve Caesar when he serves God. That's what we should do. Our obligation is to God. And insofar as political leaders instantiate the will of God, then we obey the will of God as instantiated by these political leaders. That's how we should obey political leaders, and that's the extent of it. Yes, that was, in fact, as you say, the conundrum when JFK took office. That was the fear, right? The fear was that JFK would be taking orders from the Pope, which, if anyone had ever had any interaction with JFK, you realize that that's hilarious. Like, no. Kennedy was not exactly a great Catholic. Oh, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Big mistake. Let's try this again. What should the Catholic position be on Israel? Do you want the minimum position, or do you want the ideal? What I think the ideal should be. Those are two different answers. Should we say it should exist, but the current administration has to go, and one more tolerant of non-Jews come to power? Well, certainly. I mean, at the very least, that. I do not think that that Israel has the right to exist qua Jewish state. Mostly because I'm not because I'm opposed to the Jews, but because I'm opposed to states. So, qua anarchist, I would say that no, I'm absolutely opposed to the Jewish state because I'm opposed to states as such, and I think that there should be a kind of market anarchy in the Middle East. But ooh, that's interesting. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there should not be any government needed, any states needed there. If anything, there can be mutual defense compacts and things like that. However, given the conflicts in the region, that may not be plausible. And if that's not plausible, then fine. I would say that is also, by the way, not a specifically or uniquely Catholic answer. A uniquely Catholic answer would be that, well, it should be because it is the Holy Land. It is the land on which God walked upon the earth. Then it should be essentially the property of the Church. There should be a Catholic Kingdom of Jerusalem. I do think that absolutely should be the Catholic position on the matter, ideally. The ideal Catholic position should be the Holy Land should be held by the Church for Christians. Because there's no other way, realistically, there is no other way to ensure that pilgrims are welcomed and protected. Because, well, they're obviously interesting. Pilgrims are obviously not welcomed and protected by the Jewish state of Israel. I mean, oh, hello, goodbye. Once again. But yeah, I do think that ideally it should be a Christian nation, if not a state, and certainly a Christian nation. Even if that means it being a protectorate of, other Catholic nations and whatever, or of the Church as such, or of the Vatican, whatever. That's fine too. Not necessarily as plausible, really. Owie. At least there's no fall damage. I think I can do this. I think that a moderate position, so that is the ideal. I would say that is the ideal Catholic position, is that the State of Israel should be a Catholic or at least Christian nation. Ideally, it should be explicitly doctrinally Catholic. It should not be a secular state, and it should not be another religious ethno state. It should be, if anything, a Catholic kingdom, nation, whatever system of government. Would I dance to this music? Yeah, probably. It's pretty jazzy. I do love jazz. And between this one and Minoko's music, both great. Now, the less than ideal, but I think still reasonably acceptable, would be I still think that that Israel probably should not be a creedally Jewish state. I think that is that presents its own problems. Notably, the sort of unwelcome of Christian pilgrims. Ah, really? Okay. Let's try again. Because, of course, Christian pilgrims are unwelcome in the Jewish state. It is a doctrinally a Jewish religious ethno-state. They're not going to accept pilgrims from other nations, assuming that those, or from other faiths, I should say, assuming that those pilgrims are going to preach the gospel, because all Christians have an absolute duty to preach the gospel. If you do not preach the gospel, you are not fulfilling God's commands. You are not doing what Christ commanded us to do. You are sinning by not preaching the gospel. And so, yeah, that absolutely is the secular, well, not secular, the Jewish nation-state of Israel commanding you to violate God's law. And of course they would. That is how you maintain a religious ethno-state. That's how you do that. Like, you can't do it otherwise. Like, if you want to maintain, say, a Christian nation as such, you can't allow other faiths, heretical faiths or pagan faiths or whatever, to have. They cannot have official institutions, and allowing people into your nation with the express purpose of converting people away from the state religion is intrinsically contrary to the purpose of the state as such. And so, yeah, if you're going to have a Jewish state per se, you're going to be fundamentally anti-Christian. Not because Judaism is anti-Christian, but because a confessional state is anti-other religions. Simple as that. So no, I don't think that Israel has a right to exist qua Jewish state. For two reasons. One, because states don't have the right to exist. States don't have rights. Nations, it's the states, whatever. Those kinds of organizations are not the kinds of things that have rights. People have rights. But then beyond that, and also, you know, the institution of the state is not exactly a good thing. It is not something that has a right to exist. And then, of course, you also get the idea of... nope, okay. That a Jewish state as such will necessarily be hostile to Christianity. Now what? I get to go. Oh my god! It keeps going. So yeah, this is both jazzy and there's a lot of ska to this too. There's very clear ska influence in this music, in a good way. I love ska. Alright, this is as far as I've gotten so far. Okay. There. Go across there, or I can go across here. Go around. This seems like it's a harder shortcut, but I'm gonna give it a try. Hey, really? It's just not gonna let me? Fine, whatever. Sim says, I was watching a short documentary earlier about a group of white nationalists who bought hundreds of acres in the Ozarks of Arkansas. Crested a de facto segregated farming community that vet people moving in to ensure they're pure Europeans. It did raise the question, should Catholics create their own rural communities? With no regard to ethnicity, of course, but simply founding a rural township. It's not a bad idea. It's honestly not a bad idea. Now, I will say, so long as it doesn't get mixed up with the frankly retarded... Hey, we're dancing! No one is skanking, except maybe that guy. Like, that's offensive. Okay, that counts as skanking, right? This one? Pink one? I get leg kicks. Welcome to the crew! Oh, that's a dance. Nice to see new faces. Dance with us now. Oh, yeah. I sense a trap. Oh, really? An expedition? I certainly wasn't expecting that. Your presence here is proof that you climbed the tower, like all of us here. You can live here with us now forever. Actually, we can't really do that. Oh. Well, then as a souvenir, take this. This is the ultimate gestural uniform. What the heck was that? With pride, you're one of us. Okay, hold on. Was it for everybody, or was it... Hold on. First of all, now let's sit down. It's... I'm gonna fucking lose it. I even got a whistle! Oh my god! Oh man. Oh, okay. No, I will, no. Just, God, no. Stop that. That's so fucking ridiculous. He is bun. No, that's stupid. Let's go with that. So, how does she look with a ponytail? Okay. I still like wavy better. Let's stick with her for... Let's go ponytail. Looks better without bangs. Anyway, yes, I would say that this is good skanking music. It's very ska. Anyway, this is enjoyable. I like that. That was fun. Living the dream. It only took like a half an hour too. That's not bad. How far can I jump? Let's see. Which is the best way to jump? I'm just gonna swan dive right off the top right there behind the guy. Just full on leap. Ready, set. Let's go. Birds. Whee! That was fun. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, that was fun. I enjoyed that. You imagine my kids getting in their groove on and my wife trying to drag them to bed. I also try and drag them to bed. We both fail often. But yes, that is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. The kids will get into something and they will just keep on going. If that's dancing, they will keep on at it. It's one of those guys. That's a cool little tower. I dig it. Is there something back here I should... There's nothing here. It's just those guys. Just the never. Oh no, it's not. It's that.
An
Sweet.
advantage.
Avoid and evade. I don't want to fight you guys right now. No, thank you. Dead gestures. I'm assuming one of his rocks is going to let me break through some of this stuff. Some of the coral. And another one is going to let me dive underwater, because I saw there was some underwater stuff, etc., etc. What this? Esoteric ruins. Cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I do think that, what? Oh, this is spooky. Kind of dig it. Okay, there's a way back up, so let's just go for it. What is that? Being a core. Now, before I dive into this, I want to talk about what I was going to talk about. Right? Okay. Yes, starting a cool little Catholic insular community is a great idea because Catholicism as a faith and as a culture works really well in 100% communities, right? Because everyone goes to church and you have the church bells that sort of dictate the cycle of everyone's lives and all of that stuff. All of that ties in together really well with a sort of Catholic community idea. However, so long as it doesn't also get tied up with these retarded political and economic ideas that a lot of traditional Catholics tend to have, the sort of distributist model, or the extreme localist model, where this little community tries desperately to be self-sufficient, and therefore everyone winds up being a farmer, and then everyone basically winds up being barely scraping by at subsistence level. Like, no, we live in a modern world, in a modern economy. You can have a little independent community that can largely feed itself, but can also import and export just fine, and can be a nice little town that is just a nice town that doesn't have to be this weird, wacky, exclusively farming community where everyone is barely scraping by. Abject extreme poverty. You don't have to have that. You can have a flourishing little community, which I think was what a lot of these little township kind of things are trying to do now, or actually trying to understand that, starting to understand, I should say, that no, localism is not necessarily a good thing, and in fact is not a ticket to economic prosperity. It's kind of the opposite. So, anyway, yeah, don't get suckered into the stupid economic ideas of radtrads. Their economic ideas are usually even worse than their bad and rebellious religious ideas. Form of a damned soul? Ooh, interesting. How would you make distributism work? It wouldn't. That's stupid. In this state, I am nothing but condemned. Why are you surprised I'm not a distributist? I'm intelligent. Condemned? Yes, condemned to wander aimlessly, as I have been separated from my companions. But I fear they were the ones who cut me off. I'm vulnerable in this state. Will you be the one to deal the final blow? Are you a spirit? A spirit? This concept is unfamiliar to me. Could you enlighten me? A spirit could be defined as... yeah, the wandering soul of a dead person. Let's go with that. I would not describe myself as a radtrad. I would describe myself as a traditionalist insofar as I obey the magisterium of the church. In other words, I'm a traditionalist insofar as Catholicism is traditional. That's it. I don't even really... like, I love the Latin language, but I don't even necessarily prefer the Latin liturgy. Like, I'm fine with the Novus Ordo, if it's the ordinary form of the Novus Ordo, if it's celebrated well. Completely fine with it. I like Latin elements in liturgy, especially in chant, but I don't even really prefer the traditional Latin Mass, if that's what defines it, because that's really in a lot of cases what delineates the sort of rad trads or even traditionalism per se within Catholicism is liturgical preferences, and I don't even really. Honestly, my favorite rites of the liturgy that I've been to is the Benedictine rite. The Benedictine monastery at St. Leo has a gorgeous mass because they integrate chant so thoroughly throughout the entire mass into their own rite of the liturgy, which is very similar to the ordinary form of the Novus Ordo Latin rite. Very similar, but there are some distinct differences. There's no kneeling, is the biggest weird part. Everywhere you would kneel in the Latin rite, in the Benedictine rite you stand. Kneeling is exclusively for, in the Benedictine tradition, kneeling is exclusively for penance. It is not for worship, so it doesn't have a place in the mass. Imsim says, I think we need to turn the Novus Ordo into an English vernacular Tridentine mass. Not necessarily. That's the thing. I don't necessarily think there's anything really wrong with the Novus Ordo liturgy. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Sorry. So I guess I'm not a rad trad. That kills my rad trad credentials. Whatever. And I'll say this again too. I've said this a million times, but the English ordinary form Novus Ordo mass at our parish church is more reverent than the extraordinary form Latin low mass that they also have every Sunday. I've been to both. The English ordinary form is far more reverent and far more beautiful. Not categorically, but overall it is. So yeah, no, I'm not one of the I'm not a rad trad in that sense. Yeah, I don't know if that helps. There you go. I'm definitely not a distributist because I know at least 5 things about economics. One of these days I need to do a video specifically about distributism. I think I might actually. This guy I just encountered, Philip Herreau, who I've seen around for years in Facebook interactions and things. But we went and watched a lot of his YouTube stuff recently over the last couple of weeks. I might want to actually reach out with him and have a chat about distributism because he also understands that it's really dumb. Something else I've said again for years is that I would love to have Matt Fradd have Tom Woods on Pints with Aquinas, because Tom Woods, Dr. Thomas E. Woods, the historian and libertarian scholar, is absolutely a rad trad. He categorically prefers the extraordinary form, the Latin Mass. He wrote the book on the Latin Mass. He wrote Sacred Then and Sacred Now, which had a foreword and was forward by then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, which was later reprinted with basically with papal imprimatur about the Latin liturgy. And so he's absolutely a rad trad in that respect. He was not a fan of Pope Francis, etc. But he also understands that distributism is retarded. Now he probably, I don't know if he would say retarded, would he? Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, especially words that the left think are bad. But no, it's very, very silly. And he understands that. And there's a great chapter in another book of his about that. Do I have it right here? I don't know where it is. It's a great book. It's called The Church and the Market by Dr. Thomas E. Woods. That's another one. But I do have it. It's somewhere, though. Anyway. Is that it? Oh, that's not it. Leading Philosophy. Here. Fine. Here's his most recent book, Diary of a Psychosis. I have a review of this book on my channel, so check that out. There you go. Plugging Tom Woods anyway. I'll link it. There. Anyway. Make sure I mentioned Chesterton when I talk about distributism. Yeah, Chesterton was not an economist, and he knew very little, if anything, about economics. He was kind of a Marxist. I'm sorry. He held very solidly to the, at that point, long refuted labor theory of value, and he was obsessed with it. It's very dumb. So no, I do not take Chesterton seriously when he talks about economics. Belloc even less so. Some people you like the idea of distributism. I don't even like the idea of distributism. I like being a wagey. Shut up. Economies of scale exist. Stop. The university could not exist without wage labor. Do you understand that, right? Like, independent scholars are not the only way or even the best way to conduct scholarship. It's not how it works. And independent scholarship is what you would need if you wanted, wide and equitable distribution of the means of production. That is to say, everyone being basically every business being a sole proprietorship. You can't do that and have a university. That alone is basically just a refutation of distributism as a Catholic economic theory. It's just not Catholic. The idea of a Catholic third way economic theory, okay, cool. I mean, sure, I like the idea of cake with no calories, but I'm also not retarded. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. Frick, I forget who it was. It was a Catholic who said this, and I forget which one, but it was someone quite clever. I forget who. It might have been Robert Higgs. Said there is, in fact, a third way between capitalism and socialism, namely socialism. Because that's basically just what distributism is. It's socialism with an agrarian veneer. You like the idea of class collaboration rather than class warfare? Great, you're a capitalist. Congratulations. Someone that is dead. Did I die? Since my duty is unknown to me. Pardon me, I may not know the answer to your question, as I do not know the nature of my state. Weren't you killed by Nevrons? Nevrons? Another concept that eludes me.
It's weird that they don't know about Nevrons.
The heck is it?
It's possible they died before or during the fracture. Or perhaps they called Nevrons something else.
Wacky. The idea of the family as the standard unit rather than the individual. I mean, it depends on what you mean by that. The individual is the standard unit of action theory, and that again, that just also goes back to Thomas Aquinas. Like, Aquinas was not a familialist. He didn't think that families acted collectively. He was very, very clear that only the individual acts. Aquinas was a methodological individualist, just like Rothbard, just like Mises, just like the post-marginalists in economics. The marginal revolution was a very Thomistic movement, especially as it developed, as it was later developed by Murray Rothbard. The action axiom, that is, man acts, is extremely Thomistic. With that,
We'll have to go through the maze.
is it just deflecting? Oop! Oh, thanks. Yeah! Yeah! Why am I peering with my head? It's very silly. Now, the family is the standard economic unit. I can see that. The family being fundamentally economically indivisible, sure. But in terms of actions and decision theory, that's where you lose me, because that's where you lose humanity. Human beings are essentially individuals. To dispute that is to dispute our nature qua persons. We would be something other than persons if we were not individuals. If we were intrinsically part of a larger unit, we would not even be substances. We would be parts. But we are substances, and therefore methodological individualism is borne out by metaphysical individualism.
Good stuff.
Secondary substances, as Aristotle would call them, I've actually talked about this as well, but secondary substances, that is collections of things, they exist in a sense, but only in a derivative sense. They derive their being from primary substances. Oh, fascinating. Oh, they're on-off switches. Okay, I see. It is a maze, isn't it? Fascinating.
This place is giving me a headache.
Me too. Where's the fighting?
Let's try this. Oh, good. Well, okay. No, then. That one's blocked. Missed. Oh, I can shoot through? Interesting. Nah, I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Aha. Aha! Made it.
The door closed again.
No.
Spooky.
Very spooky. Okay, there's got to be a fast travel point here, right? Saw something over here. Is that it? A collectible?
Nice.
Oh, freaky. I love this. This is very highly atmospheric. That was it. It was just a room. Oh, each room is identical. Okay, okay, of course it is. I figured they wouldn't make a individually rendered little rooms, but it'd be cool. But okay, anywhere else I need to go? Down there, I guess. There's a way back up. That's good news.
Great.
More color of Lumina. Nope, not that way. This way. Alright, I guess let's get out of here, shall we? Yeah, on that note, I think I will I'll see if I can get in contact with Philip. About that. About maybe having a chat. Maybe we'll do a live stream, maybe we'll do a record a video together or something like that, but but it's absolutely an idea worth talking about, and we are both basically, I would say, more or less sort of Rothbardian libertarian Catholics. Okay, it did save. Okay. Anything new? I must ask, who are you? Are you perhaps explorers of some sort? Is that why you sought out this place? It's a complicated story. Please listen. I yearn for something. For what? I do not know yet. Beyond the cliff, there's something is resonating? In hopes of remembering the path I must walk, feel the answers near. Something is resonating. But what, though? I just went the whole way. There was nothing there. I don't know, man. Maybe somebody can figure this out for me. Maybe not. But we'll see. Might need to look this one up. For now, let's get out of here. Esoteric ruins, old Lumiere. I think that's it. That's all that's around here. Maybe there's swimmies. Oh no, it's all blocked. Alright, old Lumiere it is, I suppose. 11:30. You know what actually I might do? I might just go to camp for right now. Before I go on. I assume this is a major story point. Let's see. Let's just go to camp. Why not? Let's chat with some peoples. Get my present?
What present?
One I left in your hut?
Oh, I got your note about... But I didn't see a present. What was it? Silly batat. Thanks.
Yeah, let's hang out with Nogel. He's fun.
How's my favorite patat? Oh, I'm still your favorite, am I? Because you've taken a real shine to my L. Fair enough. So tell me, patat to not a patat. Why are you tagging along? Really? I don't believe you. Don't tell Minoko I said this, but you were and still are the greatest searcher of all time. And you know there are more lost Gestrels out there. Why be a merchant? Why go to old Lumiere? Mare? No?
Once again, we have the theme of endless sequential life. I've said this before, right? That the idea of endless sequential life being extremely, extremely different, categorically different from eternity per se, what the experience we will have in heaven and in the next life. An endless series of moments is a curse, not a blessing. And we see here.
True. All right, all right. Minoko's all grown up now, and it's your turn to be the patat. So eloquent.
I love the patats. They're fun.
Is Golgra still mad at me?
What do you think?
Well, Golgra helped Noko start his merchant shop.
Yeah, but defying Golgra wasn't Noko's idea, was it?
Noko would have done the same for me.
Noko would have got Golgra on his side first.
Bah! It's been 10 years. Golgra needs to get over it.
Yeah, let's hang out with our weird guy friend.
I see you got stronger.
Well, I didn't spend the last few years hiding in the mountains.
The mountain where a Pelerin cut you in half and you cried for my help?
Yeah, the mountain where a Stalak stomped you, and I had to evacuate you.
You want to fight?
Well, unlike Gestrels, I need sleep, so I'll pass.
The jazz is back. That saxophone kicking in. I love it.
Coward.
Have you seen how weak you are now? I'd beat you blindfolded.
In the mountains, I have learned inner peace. These petty provocations do not work on me anymore.
That's weird for Gestrel, but God, I love this character. He's so bizarre but cool.
I've missed our little excursions. Yeah, you do too, I know.
Remember our first battle against the duelist?
Sure do. We got our asses kicked pretty hard.
And this one time we tried to swim to the Red Tree Island and you got eaten by that snake.
Oh yeah, it turns out living inside a snake's belly is possible when you're immortal. Carving my way out was a nightmare though.
Oh, I want to hear about this.
Remember that time when you challenged Eskier to a duel?
Well, someone conveniently forgot to mention that Eskier is the most powerful creature in the world. Good times. Oh, and remember when...
Minoko and Verso fall back into the familiar pattern of their camaraderie. Lovely.
Good times indeed.
We spend a bit more time bragging before going back to the others. Now let's see,
Feet?
what Lune's doing.
Really?
Says one who, in her ordinary outfit, travels barefoot.
Don't worry. He's not interested in human feet.
I don't have a bonk screen for this game. Maybe I should.
And the bell?
A gift from the Grandis.
Amazing. I wonder if we can achieve something similar.
I'll stick to my swords. I'm not too keen on turning into a Nevron.
If we combine this with Pictos, could we selectively use Nevron abilities in battle?
I mean, he certainly can.
Okay, you seem busy. I'll come back later.
Yeah, let's hang out for a bit. Especially if you're doing science. She wants to ask more questions, of course. Of course.
I've been wondering, why stay on the continent alone? Why not return to Lumia?
I did.
Really? Being immortal, that seems like you would have been, I don't know, helpful?
I went back. Helped with the rebuild.
Really? I mean, Expedition Zero did return, allegedly.
After the fracture, we didn't have anything. Food, shelter, none of it.
Things must have been chaotic then.
Nothing like the end of the world to bring out the best and worst in us. I almost miss those times. You know, the dome shield. My father and I helped build that.
Oh. Why'd you leave then?
Those early expeditions, they were search and rescue. We didn't know about the Paintress then. We just wanted to find our loved ones. Like my mother.
I see.
So, yeah, people got separated in the fracture. That does... Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
But this time, you didn't go back.
People didn't trust me. Guess I'm hard to trust.
That is true. Probably very few people gommaged the first few times. I doubt there were very many 90-plus-year-olds in a post-apocalyptic world.
Perhaps.
I mean, surely they saw the countdown and presumably were a bit off-put by it, but as far as people actually dying, disappearing, reasonably it would have been very few to start off.
Guess they thought I knew more than I did. Halfway to the monolith, I was betrayed. Barely escaped. Kind of killed my interest in returning home. What about you? Do you miss home?
I spent my whole life studying the Paintress and the monolith. This is where I need to be.
What a long-winded way to avoid answering the question.
Yes, there are things I miss.
You paint such a vibrant picture.
If you must know what I really miss of Viennoiserie.
Viennoiserie? What?
Oh, good answer. I miss those too.
Is that a Viennese, an Austrian pastry?
What?
I enjoyed this conversation.
High praise.
Lune feels more relaxed in Verso's presence. She appreciates that Verso has shared actual useful information, for once. Sorry, I'm adding commentary. Lune becomes lost in thought, reflecting on the information that Verso has shared. Verso feels ignored and goes back to the others. Naturally. Alright. How's Mael doing?
Grandis is so gentle. Who's going to protect them while Monoko's gone?
They can take care of themselves.
Really?
They've got their bells. Don't worry.
What do the bells do?
Ringing the bells makes the Nevrons flee.
Really? It's excessively useful.
Although, it only works on Nevrons with ears, so not every Nevron.
Well, now I'm worried.
Yeah. Actually, me too.
Yeah, let's hang out. Verso joins Mael, throwing rocks by the lake.
Throwing rocks again?
Mm-hmm. You should try.
Eskia would be horrified that we're throwing stones into the lake.
He loves stones.
Or he'd be super happy because we're sending them soaring on fun little adventures.
It's all in how you describe things to Eskia, you know.
Oh, so they're like little rock expeditioners.
Exactly.
Should I lean into my suspicions about the plot? Or do I want to go the other direction with it and actually be nice to her? I can't accuse her of being the paintress in this, even if one, I think it's true, and two, Verso would, if it is true, Verso would know that. It would make you Lumiere. It would make you Lumiere, though. Like, metaphorically speaking, you're the home being, like, sending them on.
Would that make you Lumiere then?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm launching them on their journey and watching them from afar. Stone after stone after stone,
That got dark quick.
knowing they'll never come back.
And knowing you'll never stop.
You get it.
Yeah, I enjoy depressing poetry too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Is that what you're writing in your notebook all the time? Depressing poetry.
It's not all depressing. Why, what do you write about? You don't seem like a sunshine and rainbows type.
Mostly poetic insults to use on Monoko. I'm currently comparing him to the backside of an owl.
Is it the white fluffiness? Okay.
Actually, writing is cathartic for me. It helps. Getting the thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. Giving shape to my feelings.
Okay.
Can I see?
Writing as expressive rather than as informative. He's a yapper. But he's a sad yapper.
Do I get to read yours?
Mine's kind of personal.
Well, so is mine.
Yeah, but I bet you secretly want people to read it.
Really?
Okay, fine. I'll let you read mine if I get to read yours.
Okay, deal.
Be kind, though.
Yeah, I can't promise that.
Rude. Mael and Verso feel closer to each other. Mael proves to be extremely critical of Verso's writing. They go back to the others after Mael is done teasing Verso. They're even developing like the sibling relationship that you would expect.
Monoko seems fun.
Oh, yeah.
Bet you guys got up to lots of trouble together.
That obvious, huh?
You guys getting us into more trouble now?
An appropriate amount of trouble.
I've spent some time with Gestrals. I'm not sure we had the same definition of appropriate.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did, didn't she? It wasn't a lot of time, but it was at least a few days.
Let me guess. You've been to one of their arenas?
Reigning champion. Naturally.
Naturally.
Monoko seems...
Wait, I can't spend time with her?
You guys get... Reigning champion.
Naturally.
Interesting. Really? Is there a limit on, like, can I only spend time with X number of people?
Okay. Momo is Momo, and Nono is Nono.
What?
Then we've got Lulu, Mai, and Sissy.
Who's No-No? Oh, the little fella, the gestural, okay.
I don't think they'll like that.
Too bad.
You sure you don't want to be Ver?
That's so stupid, I love it. Ah, God, the characters in this game are fantastic. I don't know about CL. CL still kind of rubs me the wrong way, but...
Positive.
Heck yeah, let's hang out, buddy. Big fella.
She reminds me of someone.
Ooh.
Who? Mael?
Have I met her before?
Well, you also thought you knew CL.
Oh, but I do. Wait, don't I?
Sometimes I feel like you know everyone.
Oh well, that's because you're all cousins. Same, but different.
Right, so, maybe it's that.
I get the impression that Versa's hiding something.
Yes. Just like Verso is Verso's cousin. Mael is Mael's cousin. Yes, that's it.
Let me translate. Hypothetically, Verso is Gustave's cousin. Mael is blank's cousin. Mask Girl, maybe?
You're so very wise.
You know, that almost makes sense to me.
It's okay if you don't understand, Verso. You're still wise to me.
You're just a big ball of nonsense sometimes, aren't you?
That's why we're best friends.
Eskia and Verso have fun talking to each other a bit more. Their bond grows. They talk a bit more nonsense before going back to the others. Maybe it is just nonsense. Perhaps. Perhaps it's nonsense. Okay. Check on the others. Cutscene? Mael stares at the stars. Ciel appears next to Mael. Spend a moment in silence, both staring at the sky.
Can you teach me to fight better?
Better?
That white-haired bastard hit us before we even knew he was there. I want to return the favor. And you're the best fighter I know.
High praise.
You know they'll be back. I want to get them before they can get us.
Emotions are powerful. You have to make sure they work with you, not against you.
I know.
Okay. First lesson. Sounds obvious, but you need to see. Really see. Your eyes will tell you the truth, but your brain can lie.
Again, okay, so this actually lines up with at least what Aristotle's, with what Aquinas says. I think this goes back to Aristotle, but certainly Aquinas says this. I don't know if it goes back to Aristotle, because I know Anselm said something similar as well, that the senses, as such, considered as such, the senses do not lie. The senses tell us what is there. They tell us the truth. But it is our common sense, our interpretive framework, that can give rise to false perceptions, to illusions, things like that. I know Anselm at least uses the example of like when you know when you put like a straw in water, or he uses the example of a stick, but whatever. You put a stick in water, and it looks like it's broken, but it's not. Your eyes aren't telling you it's broken. Your eyes are telling you that it looks like this. It's your description of what you're seeing, your brain, as she says, that is lying, telling you, oh, this looks broken. No, it doesn't. It looks refracted. Your eyes are telling you exactly what they see. They're telling you exactly what is there in the world. It's just your mind is misinterpreting that. It's your common sense. It is your intellect, in some sense, that is deceiving you. It's not your senses. Your senses cannot deceive you. They can only report what is actually there. Even a mirage. You're seeing a mirage. If you understand that you're seeing a mirage, you're not deceived, right? It's not like your eyes are tricking you, or even trying to trick you or anything. No, you're seeing heat haze. You're seeing what's actually there. You're seeing an illusion. Well, you're seeing an illusion. You're seeing something that is actually there. You're not being tricked. Now, that is to say, your senses can be obscured. For example, if I take off my glasses and I do not see CL, I just see a whitish blob and what looks like probably a head. And yes, I'm 2 feet from my monitor. I'm quite blind. But it's just that my eyes are failing to report sufficiently. Not like they're lying. They're telling me what's there, it's just in low resolution and extremely low detail. My eyes don't function properly. Anyway, no, this is actually this is rather brilliant. This is a very good insight.
What do you mean?
Emotion can mess with your perceptions. Make you miss important details on the field.
Oh, well, that's not what I was just saying at all, but whatever. Okay, fine. It's true too, I
On
guess.
the wrong thing, or see what you want to see.
Okay.
You need to see things as they are, not how you think they are. See your target, so you can understand your target.
Okay, yeah.
How they move, how they think, how they react.
A lot of that's
so you can
interpretive,
anticipate and adjust.
Hmm.
On the field, it's just you, your weapon, and your enemy. And you need to understand all three. Everyone has blind spots, so every day you ask yourself, what's yours? What's theirs? Do you know?
Thought this would be more of a technique lesson.
It's a good lesson, though. All right, now can I talk to
Minoko
Seal?
seems fun.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Bet
Okay.
you guys got... You guys get... Raining...
Naturally.
Nope. Okay, I didn't think so. Worth a guess. What else? Anything else on the others? Anything else the others are doing?
You see, there was a stalactite and I smashed it, utterly destroyed it. I did it in 2 attacks, plenty of damage. There was nothing left. Then there was a giant pelerin that attacked. It was tough, but I defeated it, no problem.
Pelerins are weak. I could have done that blindfolded.
This expedition is gloomy.
Yeah. They lost a lot of friends, and they just buried another. Grieving takes time.
How about a little verso magic to lighten the mood?
You mean the one that hurts like hell?
Yes, I mean the one that hurts like hell.
All right, I'll do it.
What?
Hi.
Not now, please. I'm working.
Hi.
Oh, Verso, there you are. How did...
Oh my... Wow!
What is that?
Hi. I'm a pair of legs that can talk.
Verso?
We're both Verso.
You are so ridiculous.
Wait, how can your legs talk?
Ah, yes, I'm quite proud of that. Took a lot of training.
Does it? Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't.
Did you cut yourself in half? Did Minoko cut you in half?
Do you heal from the top or the bottom? Or do you have to bring the halves together? Hey, can you control the process?
So, if you're cut in half, does that mean you can be in 2 places at once? Can you go scouting with Minoko with your lower body, while your upper body stays here and talks to us?
Well, yeah, you see, I can go hunt Nevrons with my top half, while my bottom remains here cooking meals. Back in the days, that's what we used to do.
Can I... Are you...
Yeah, my hair is...
All that pain just to put a smile on their faces. Verso, aren't you getting too attached?
That is a... Okay, so he actually is immortal. He was not just bullshitting. That's good to know. Also, that was fun. A bit disturbing. Alright, let's write in the journal. I guess Mael can write in the journal. To honor his memory. She writes about their encounter with Minoko. How exciting it is to travel with a Gestrel. She hopes Gustave's apprentices will read this journal someday. Now it's back. Find and destroy the Paintress's heart in the center of Old Lumiere. Reminds me of Chop Chop's powers from our Mutants and Masterminds game. Yes, absolutely, actually. Especially using it to scout and all that. Yeah, absolutely. Alright, let's go sleep. I think we'll wrap it up about here. That was good timing. Unless there is a cutscene. Nope. No cutscene. Yes, actually. So Chop Chop was a her superpower was basically that she could divide her body into as many pieces as she wanted and independently control the various pieces. She ultimately wound up just being basically a flying brick archetype, superpower archetype. But also with some cool utility stuff of, you know, like sending her eyeball rolling into a room to kind of spy on stuff and things like that. Anyway, it was really cool. Mutants and Masterminds is, by the way, basically a D20 based superheroes RPG, tabletop RPG. It's a really good one. It's a really good system. It's really cool on its own. There is a DC Heroes core book, which also works really well. It's really fun. That's what we did. Basically just made our own heroes in the DC universe. And then also I made an adapted version of the system to work as a Mass Effect tabletop RPG, which I think also worked quite well. I don't know if it's the best system to use for a Mass Effect game, but I think it worked quite well. Anyway, we're about out of time for tonight, so I think I am going to call it there. I'm probably going to do some figuring out Minoko off stream. Maybe get him some... Maybe get him some new powers and abilities, blah, 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 do some cool stuff. Actually, you know, stat him out a little bit. Do some cool stuff, etc. Time permitting, see what I got time for. But I am in the process of working on editing a video that should be out hopefully this weekend. Hopefully. It's taking longer to edit than I wanted it to, but that's because I'm having to... Do you know how hard it is to find quotes in audiobooks? It's really difficult. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Putting some audiobook quotes into this one, so it should be fun. It should be good once it comes out, so anticipate that. It is about the Sith and about the tyranny, the sort of psychological effects of tyranny. Should be fun. I've got another video or two planned that I've got that I'm gradually working on that'll also be coming up in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for things like that. And like I said, I might want to reach out to somebody and talk about a video on distributism. So watch for that too. Anyway, otherwise, I'll definitely be seeing you guys on Tuesday for some more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And then on Thursday, next Thursday, presumably next Thursday, though, you know, you never know. We'll see. The plan is next Thursday for some more Expedition 33. So until then, hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I certainly did so far, and I hope it continues for everybody, myself included, and you included as well. And we'll see you the next time. But until then, remember, don't be safe, be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.